Hey everyone, welcome to the Captain Drone YouTube channel. My name is Steve. I am wearing my iFlight hat today because I'm out here with the iFlight Nazgul Echo. This is a $199 US drone. That's right, you heard me correct. $199 US for a very classic 5-inch super thick carbon fiber FPV drone. However, I have to tell you, the one in my hand is not the $199 version, because if it were, well, you see this frame? This is a dead cat frame. Dead cat means that the arms go straight out on the side so that your camera pointing up front doesn't get the props in the frame. The $199 version is the freestyle version, which means it's an X frame, which means the arms go like a big X, so the bottom would look like a big X. I'm probably showing you a picture of what it looks like. Why don't I have that version to show you? Because I'm a photographer, so a cinematographer, and I like to film, so I got the version to film. And if you want to film, you get the dead cat version. However, they don't make the dead cat version, from what I saw on the website, in the $199 version. Also, the $199 version comes with a beautiful analog camera up front and a super powerful VTX shooting out at 1.6 watts. That's a lot. That means long range. So that's a lot for your $199. However, since I'm a cinematographer, I have the DJI-O3 camera system and transmission system. So that boosts up the price quite a bit because you go into the digital realm. So this one I'm holding in my hand, this costs $399, which is still a bargain. Now, whatever version you could get, you can also get it with GPS on the back. GPS Rescue, I didn't get the GPS Rescue. There's no GPS on the back of mine. I don't really need it because I never fly that far. But if you're gonna do long range, get GPS. Also, when you order this drone, if you get the $199 version, you have a choice of getting no receiver, crossfire, or any type of ELRS. If you get the more expensive version like I have here, well, then you have the option of getting crossfire, any type of ELRS, or plug and play. And the reason you would get the plug and play is because you want to use this DJI remote to fly it. You see this one up here, the remote too? Well, if you have that remote, then you would get it plug and play. And the most phenomenal thing about this quad, $499, this thing goes over 190 kilometers per hour. It's super fast. And not only that, it can lift a huge camera up front. But I have to warn you, because of all that, it weighs over 250 grams. Now, for the battery, you need a battery with an XT60 connector, and it has to be 6 cells, so 6S, and it has to be the size of like 1300, 1400, or even up to 1500. I've been flying this on these 1300s, and I seem to be getting about 5 minutes. Since I have the version with the DJI-O3 camera, I have to use the DJI goggles too, but if I had the older goggles like DJI goggles version 2, I could use those as well. Or what's those other ones? Integras. If I had DJI goggles Integras, I could use those as well. I have an ELRS receiver in mine at 2.4, so I'm going to use my Radio Master Zorro at ELRS 2.4. So what I want to show you now is a few bits of footage from when I first received this quad. So I took it out to my local field. I did not put an external camera on it. I filmed everything through the DJI-O3 system, and I will tell you, I was super impressed. This is a very good drone. All right, this is my maiden flight. I took the drone out one sunny afternoon, and I was not prepared for how much power it has on takeoff. And that explosion of rocks and dirt flying everywhere left a coating all over my lens. Now, I don't have the Freestyle X-Frame version of this drone. My version is the Dead Cat version, which is more for cinematic than freestyle, but you can flip this around in the skies either really quick or nice and slow. And I didn't notice any prop wash. I think people looking for a drone to do exploration flying, this one's a good one because it's pretty quick, so it's going to get you from point A to point B in a relatively short time. One thing I like about this drone is that it's very easy to control the throttle, so if you want to do spins around an object like I'm doing here, it's very easy to do. It also handles flying in the wind quite well. This was a very windy day and the wind's pushing me around, but I can keep the nose pointing exactly where I want to point it. And speaking of the wind, I was surprised that when I brought the quad in for a landing, it was still pretty easy to control even in the winds. Next, I popped a fresh battery on and took it for a flight in a different location, and I made sure that my takeoff was much more relaxed. Now, since I have the DJI O3 version with the DJI O3 transmission system, I have an extremely long range, which means that the video and telemetry signals can penetrate objects even when you're not at long range, but you're close by flying around different things that are blocking the signal. So I will say this is a drone that gives me plenty of confidence when flying. Now, I don't have GPS rescue on it, so I'm never going to take it super far. But you can certainly do exploration flying at high speed, low to the ground, at a significant distance. Some of the most thrilling FPV flying I do is just flying around and exploring the area, but with this quad you have to be careful because it has a lot of weight to it, so it has a lot of momentum, it's got a lot of speed, and when you're going forward you always have to see an exit point no matter where you're flying. Like all FPV pilots, my emergency exit point is always straight up in the air, but when I'm flying I always see a hole straight ahead of me, and that's what I'm aiming for. Now I just want to talk about the tuning of the quad for a minute. This quad is very well tuned. For my pilot skills, I wouldn't change a thing. It appears to be tuned to fly out of the box without a camera on top. However, later in this video, I'm going to put a camera on top and fly it, and I'm going to tell you, I really don't notice a difference. So this quad certainly gets points for speed and accuracy. I like quads that are fast and I like quads that are very accurate, and this one here is really good at both. As already mentioned, I'm flying on a very windy day and the drone does not seem to be at all affected by the wind. Now the wind does affect your flight time, but I was flying on a 1300 mAh 6S LiPo battery and I was getting about 5 minutes of flight time. So once again, I'll say it again, it's a really good quad. Like honestly, you can't go wrong with something like this. You could probably thunder it into the ground, you're not gonna break it, it's so thick. It's like old school, it's really, really good. Now since it's so powerful and a lot of people are gonna buy the 199 version, that version is an X frame, and because it's an X frame, your camera up front is gonna get these props in the frame. You can't get rid of it. So you're gonna put an external camera up top. You're gonna stick a GoPro or any camera you own. So I have a GoPro up top on mine, it's a GoPro 11 Mini, and I'm going to fly it around here with this and just use the footage from here and show you what it looks like. So this is going to be my GoPro flight. Here we go. One thing I forgot to mention, this does have a spark arrest system, so when you plug in the battery you won't get that big pop when you plug it in. So I'll show you, I shouldn't hear it. That's what it says, and I don't think I've ever noticed a pop, so let me plug it in. Nope. There you go, didn't hear a pop, just heard it start up. So the only thing I have to watch out for when I take off, there's trees all around. You probably can see it in the camera. Just have to miss those trees and we should be good.
Flight mode acro.
Okay, acro mode, and here we go. Armed. There we go, keep it low under the tree and we're out of there. Beautiful. All right, so here we are, just flying around. It flies extremely fast and I'm trying to keep it at a very slow speed here. Just checking out the surrounding area. Look at how beautiful that is. Oh my God. They're getting ready for swimming season. Woohoo, at the beach, look at this. Beautiful. All right, let's come on back this way over the little birdies. And let's go back over here. Make sure nobody's through here. Coming through. This is gonna be a short flight. This is just to fly with the camera up top. And right now I'm gonna tell you, I don't even notice the weight of the camera up front. Going into the sun, that's not good for filming, but you never know, it might capture something interesting. Going along the beach, I don't see anybody around today. No, it's pretty quiet out here. Pretty quiet. Let's go this way, and then back over this way. There's somebody down there. I'll just watch out for the power lines. Sometimes they install new power lines and I don't have a clue where they are. Come by. So with the camera on board, we'll do a little rotation. Beautiful. No prop wash, I'm happy to report. No prop wash whatsoever on this thing. It's so big, so powerful that it's really not going to suffer from that. There we go, you can hear it going by. Here, let me come over myself so you can hear what it sounds like. Here's what it sounds like. I'm going to go over myself here. Coming, coming, coming. There we go, a little bit of a screaming sound, but not too much. It's it's not bad. Usually the more weight you stick on a drone, the more it screams, but this one, not bad at all. Seems pretty good. So this definitely would be a good exploration drone, I think. Hey, somebody in the water. That's different. Let's go over here, over to the next water area. Let's just straighten out our drone. Stinky pond over there. And come back this way. These are all fishing areas. See if anybody's fishing down there. I don't see anybody fishing. Nope. Looks pretty good. All right. Now, if I haven't said it before, I really love this quad. You know, for the price, for everything you get, it's definitely up there. This would be like in a top 10 quad of really good quads to get. It's very strong. You can crash it. It's got super high speed, and man, does it fly nice. So let's go over here. Look how beautiful this is. The water's like glass this morning. This is awesome. Go around the point of the beach and come on back and stay away from that swimmer and any walkers that I might see. Let's go this way. It's good, good, good. Good, 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 good. Go under all this. There's a walker over there. Stay away from them. Such a smooth flying quad. All right, okay, so I've seen enough. I've done enough. This thing's awesome. There is a low voltage beeper on here. I don't know if you can hear it. There you go. Can you hear the beeper? Getting closer and closer. I'll land it over here. Descend. And that beeper is to tell you that my battery is getting low voltage. So when you're flying and you hear that, it's time to land. All right, I've got a voltage checker down here. That was a 4-minute flight with a camera up top. I'm gonna turn the camera off here. And let's see, with that extra weight, I'll get less flight time. Oh yeah. I'm at 1%, so my battery it's toast. It's a good thing I landed. There you go. You might be able to see it in this camera with the reflection of the sun or not. You can see I'm down to like 1% battery power left. So when you add the weight of a camera on top or extra weight, you get less flight time. I will tell you before, with no camera up top, I was easily getting 5 minutes with the same battery, so that was only 4 minutes. All right, the next thing I want to show you is what you get in the box when you buy this quad, so check this out. Here we have the box the Nazgul Echo comes in. I have the $399 US version, and these are the specs of the drone I showed in this video. Opening the box, you'll find the drone and accessories. Out of the box, you'll discover that this drone is very well constructed, and the only thing you have to install would be the props. There are prop direction indicators as well as the antenna, and the antenna simply screws on. Now, since my version has the very expensive DJI-O3 camera in it, it also means I have the DJI-O3 transmission system, which then means 2 long-range antennas are provided. My drone also has an ELRS 2.4 GHz receiver, and you can see it right here, and this is the antenna for that receiver. I also have the Blitz F4 flight controller shown here, and the Zing Pro 2207 1800 kV motors. 2 sets of 5-inch props are included. The battery connector is an XT60 with spark arrest. One thing that's very apparent with this quad is that it's almost entirely built out of carbon fiber and metal. And that carbon fiber is very thick where it counts. A mount is pre-installed for an external camera, and the hardware is provided so that you can secure the camera. 2 battery grips are provided, as well as a set of spare screws and a spare battery strap. 2 receiver manuals are provided, one for ELRS and one for Crossfire. And of course, a sheet of stickers are provided. The weight of the quad is 451 grams without a battery. Now we're at the end of the video, and this is normally the part I give you my positives and negatives. Normally what I do is I go indoors, I review all the video footage, I think about this for a while, and then give you my positives and negatives, but I don't have to do that because I've already flown it a few times, so I know exactly how it handles. And this was the first time flying it with the camera up top, so I know how it handles now and how long it flies for, so I'll give you my positives and negatives. Positive number 1, you cannot go wrong buying this quad for $199. I know I do not have the $199 version, but the $199 version flies exactly the same. It's just an X frame, and if you stick a camera up top on that X frame, you'll get exactly the same performance because the insides are pretty much all the same, as well as the motors. Everything's pretty much the same. Positive number 2, it's extremely fast, very fast, very, very fast for the size of this quad. It reminds me of all the old school quads, very fast. Positive number 3, it can lift weight. It has no problem lifting weight and you don't even notice the weight up the top. And positive number 4, there's no way you can destroy this quad. It is super thick carbon fiber, old school carbon fiber. So they made it over 250 grams. It's extremely strong. You're not going to destroy this thing. Now we get into my negatives. Negative number 1, it is not for beginners. Not in the least. This is not a quad for beginners. It's much too powerful for a beginner. If you think you could buy this for $199 and then learn how to fly on this thing, you probably could, but you better be somebody very dedicated and you better practice on a simulator quite a bit. But nope, to me, it's not a beginner quad. It's much too powerful for that. Negative number 2, well, it's super strong, but because of that, it's over 250 grams. And nowadays, a lot of people want to buy drones that are under 250 grams. This is not one of those. And finally, negative number 3, we are in the year 2024, and so many people are used to DJI and their 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes of flight time with their different drones out there. I know they're not FPV drones unless you get to the Avata, but then that performs not like a true FPV drone. But either case, this is about a 5-minute flight time. You might be able to push it to 7 minutes if you put a 1500 or 1800 milliamp hour LiPo 6S battery on here. But honestly, you're looking at most 5 minutes, and when you land, your battery is going to be down to about 10%. So that's it. If you want to buy this quad, the links to it are below. It comes in 3 versions. You have the $199 version that I've talked about many times. That would be with the analog camera system and an X frame. Then if you want to get the Dead Cat version, it comes in 2 versions. It comes in a $399 version with a DJI system like I have here, as well as a $549 version with a DJI O3 system like I have here. I don't really know what the difference between those two are because they look pretty much identical. They look like the same motors. They look like a lot of things the same. I do see that the flight controller is different in the more expensive one, but I'm not sure what else is different. So anyways, you would probably be perfectly happy with the $399 one if you're going digital and you wanted the DJI O3 system. So with all that said, I say thanks for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. If you have questions on this product, post them below. I'll get back to you, and I will catch you in a future video with many more cool product reviews. Until then, I say bye.